how this shakes out and what level of detail you're going to need, I think. It doesn't need to be a lot of detail at this stage, but you're starting to think about maybe handrails or glazing methods, whether or not you're going to have a giant curtain wall like this. That sort of simple stuff that you add to the architecture that actually gives it architectural quality, if that makes any sense, rather than just massing. Okay, so this is like the next degree out of massing into something that's calibrated for an architectural condition. So in this example, I didn't really change the materiality, though I would, particularly because the building itself being, sort of amorphous like that probably wouldn't wind up being plaster. It'd probably be like a metal panel material or something like that. So you'd want to put like a shiny coat on that thing. So I might do a re-render of this one. But you can see that I've kind of got some stairs that's indicative of where my entry might be, and I probably will put like a little block on here, and that's going to be my entry condition. It doesn't have to be fully resolved yet, but you should know that like my door entry thing is going to probably happen around here. So that's essentially what we're trying to get to, is something like this. Now I forgot to turn off the flat surface of my glazing, so it turned out black, but I actually did model a few things into it inside that you could see, like a couple floor plates. That's basically it. If you want to look at the model, you can see I put little floor plates in there, thinking that you'd be able to see them kind of poking through in the back there. So I'll re-render that and get it a little bit higher calibrated. But I wanted to show you the alternate method as well, right? So I made a few changes. I increased the turbidity. Did I increase the turbidity, actually? Hang on, what did I change? I changed wavelength, and I think I did change turbidity. Yeah, I put it up to 0.1. I also changed the time of day, and so this is the render that I got from that. It's still a little dark right now, but if we maybe bump up the ISO, you can get it a little brighter. But this is what I want you guys to be playing with, is looking at what'd I do? What did I do? Anyway, weird. I gotta find this now. I think I might have closed that view. Where'd I put it? Oh, I see what I did. Sorry. It was on the other screen. So this is what I want you guys to be doing. I want you to be exploring what it's like to render this scene, what it's like to compare this scene to that scene, and then look at the different settings. Okay, so that's the objective here, is to see how you can actually get these things to get different moods. Okay, does that make any sense? So time of day and turbidity on this one, right? So those will be the only things. I think I did change the wavelength. I did. I changed wavelength from, yeah, it was originally, what's your standard wavelength? 1.2. 1.2? All right, so I bumped it down to 1. Okay? Is that clear enough?
Yeah. Hey, Kevin.
What questions do you have? No questions. Okay. I trust that you guys have enough information to complete the assignment.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So the last thing I think I want to say then about this for the deliverables, so this particular deliverable is going to be collected, but it's not going to be a part of this module's final assignment, if that makes any sense. So this module's final assignment is going to be like a time-lapse collage of the 3 stages that we're developing. But this is just going to be a side thing that I'm going to collect. And this and your renders up to this week's point are going to be submitted in the drop folder next week. Okay, so if I could itemize it for you real quick. Let me get back to, okay, if my computer would ever work. Sorry guys, Adobe is like crashing on me. But what's new? Alright, here we go. Oh, wrong element. Hang on. Let's pull open module 2. If it'll ever open. There we go. Okay. So these were those deliverables I'm referring to, right? So we have massing renders that we created in week 1. We're going to have a little bit more detail and exploring the environment settings in week 2, okay? So, and then I need 2 renders, 2 selected renders. So I need one at the studio scale, a little bit more developed with all of your architecture, and I need one at the full scale. Okay, does that make sense? So week 1, we had studio scale and full scale, and they were just massing. Didn't have glazing or materials or anything like that, except for just, you know, matte white and lighting. Week 2, studio scale, full scale. You can utilize glazing. You can utilize, you know, satin or matte or glossy finishes, and just a little bit more development. So then, week 3, we're going to be adding a few more things, and you know, I'll explain that a little bit more there. But all up to week 2 is going to be due when we come into class on Monday. Did I explain that clearly enough?
So there's 4 renders that you're supposed to expect.
4 total renders plus this file, this one.
Okay.
So you're going to have studio scale, full scale from week 1, studio scale, full scale from week 2, and then this. So this sort of precedes the week 2 renders. Okay? You want me to? I'll itemize it on the board a little bit more clearly. Okay.
Thank you, Kevin.
They're going to be
Yeah.
hour-long renderings?
No, you can just do drafts for this stage. Does that make sense? Okay.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're very welcome.